Hi, so welcome to Cosplay Chameleons, which is a show on my channel where I specifically interview people all things cosplay, the cosplay community, crafting, outfit making, any of that we explore. In this series specifically, we sit down with cosplayers and we interview them. We talk about their cosplay career, cosplay's experience, and advice for new cosplayers. I really hope you enjoy. So please introduce yourself for anybody who doesn't know.
Oh, I'm Artemis. Should I wave?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever makes you
Cool.
happy.
Hi, I'm Artemis. I use he, they, it pronouns, and I've been cosplaying since lockdown. Yeah.
What cosplays do you do?
Lefty, William Afton, Spring. A lot of Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm slowly branching out. I've got a Creeper one and a Bilbo Baggins one on the way. I have done Detroit Become Human, Bill Cipher. A lot of horror fandoms, essentially.
What do you do outside of cosplay?
A large variety of things. I'm a psychology student, so no one expects that because I cosplay and I also run an Etsy business. So obviously you can't see it, but I'm currently in the process of making a Minecraft collection. I do a lot of stickers. I've done every FNAF game apart from 3 and 4. I've rejected them. I was like, I'm doing everyone. Completely skipped 3 and 4. Now I have to go back to them. But yeah, I do that. I do Etsy, obviously cosplay, uni, and I'm a McDonald's worker, which is the least exciting one out of all of them.
What is the most annoying thing to make at McDonald's outside of it? I need to ask.
Well, I don't do the food stuff. The arthritis means that I haven't been taught in my kitchen yet. Even though I've been working at McDonald's since 2021, I have not learnt the kitchen. So I'd have to say the crushed ice drinks. If you order a caramel frappe, I will be hunting you down. Because it takes a while to make it, and if someone orders like 4 of them, the machine only has 2 slots, and it takes like a minute per drink.
That's
So
horrible.
during the middle of summer, when people are just ordering the crushed ice, which is like the lemonade and the frappes and the smoothies, unless it's the iced latte, which doesn't require crushing, they all take an enormously long amount of time, and customers do get angry at us. And I'm like, why? The machine, your drink is not ready. I don't know what you want us to do.
What got you into nerd and geek culture?
I've just been in it since a young age. A internet kid, born and raised. I had unfiltered internet access, not by my mum not trying, but by me sneaking down at 1 a.m. to steal my laptop and play on it for multiple hours. So I've been in it since a young age. Kind of did a lot of Doctor Who, and then Animal Jam, and fell down the furry pipeline with Chicken Smoothie. But at the same time, was on the Tumblr side of Super Hoolockian. I've been there and done all of it, apart from Homestuck and Warrior Cat, which I feel like is a badge of honor that I haven't done Homestuck and Warrior Cat, but less badge of honory is that I've essentially done everything else, including Dream SMP. That's a stain on my past, and my AO3 tags. It's still in my top 10. I've tried, alright?
AO3 was a
Back in Shield is now up there, but
AO3 was a
still,
dark time for all of us. I think you're forgiven. It's okay.
I still, I read a lot of fan fiction, and I still haven't recovered. I have over 200 fics bookmarked. The only one that's close to beating Dream SMP is Marvel, which I feel like it is much better. For context, I haven't cosplayed Marvel. I have cosplayed Bulbasaur, but I have not cosplayed Marvel. But it is somehow one of my most tagged fan fictions, bookmarked fan fictions out there. And all of it is Tony Stark, Avengers Tower family stuff. I'm the most stalkable person on the internet. So if you know my username, you can find my AO3 and then see exactly what I've read.
Oh
None
my
of it is
god.
private.
That's honestly like that's genuinely one of the most iconic things I've ever heard.
Yeah, you wanna find out what I read on the daily? Just search it up. You can see what hyperfixation I've had throughout a specific period of my life. If you click on a certain tag, you can see just a phase of me only. There was a phase where I only read Martha. Like, there is a solid 2 days where the only thing bookmarked is Merlin and Arthur.
They were the OTP though, like genuinely, they were the
But
original
that was
OTP.
recent hyperfixation. Like, I got into Merlin before I got into reading fanfiction a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think most of us did. Merlin was a kid's show.
the only exception to hyperfixation on my bookmarked is FNAF, because before Security Breach, it was just porn. There was nothing to read. But past Security Breach, there is stuff, but there is still a large majority of fics that I will not read. Unfortunately.
That's
I want heart/comfort. I don't need sun and moon in my life in a sexual sense. I need them to protect Gregory, not to like YN.
they
Like,
need to be best friends.
sorry, controversial opinion. I don't read YN fanfiction.
I can forgive you. I can forgive you. It's okay.
I'm sorry. It's not my thing.
Friendship
I
over.
want heart/comfort, alright? I need to see those men and women hugging each other. I need it. Viscerally. It cures the soul.
There's just something about
This
inserting yourself into a
This is what an
universe.
internet trace is. This is what an internet trace is. I'm never gonna live this down.
There's just something about inserting yourself into a universe you have absolutely no business being in. It's so fun.
See, but that's what my mind's for. I don't need fanfiction for that when I can maladaptive daydream my way into
That's
anything.
what character AI is for.
I stay away from that because I don't like role playing. That's why it's all in my mind or maladaptive. I'm not gonna call my brother out here, but I will say he has a really interesting maladaptive daydream universe, and I do judge him for it.
Moving on. What would you say is your most iconic cosplay?
I'd say Lefty, probably because I've done that one the most.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. But I know that other people would disagree with me and say Siren Head or any cosplay that I've worn to a Comic Con, apart from William Afton. He was my first cosplay, but I'm barely known for him. I'm more likely to get recognised for Springtrap or Lefty, which is entertaining. But
Yeah.
I'd say Lefty. I
You're-
just love that little scrumblo. He's
adorable.
Every FNAF fan has that one character that they will defend to the end of the earth. Mine is Lefty. What's yours?
Ooh, that is a real.
You
If
have
we're-
one. You have one that you really like, and then you have one that you like less, but to similar
Okay,
levels.
if we're
That
talking,
second one to me is Sun.
my one that I like the most, Funtime Foxy. I don't know.
Mhm.
He got that narcissist ADHD personality that just hits home. My one that I'm like,
He is
ooh,
dragging everyone.
exactly.
To a crowd.
He-
Everyone looks to him.
You can't convince me that man is straight.
Yeah. None of the sister location characters are straight, man. We know, apart from Biddy Bab, but we don't speak about Biddy Babs.
One that I'm like you're less iconic to me, but I still like. Sun is my boy.
Sun's amazing. You're gonna love him.
He's so ADHD.
He is, especially in Help Wanted 2, where you finally see his personality. But I do have to put my phone into charge because it's dying.
So good. Controversial FNAF opinion. I like Monty.
How's that controversial?
There's so many
If
people
you're
that don't like him.
controversial, I believe Gregory's a robot.
I believe that too. Everyone does. Everyone does.
My friend has a really controversial opinion, which is that Security Breach takes place in an alternate timeline to the original games.
No, that could track. There's a lot of things that don't make sense within Security Breach following the other games, so if it was an alternate universe, I could see that.
But also, it could just not make sense because this is Scott Cawthon.
I mean, this is just gonna turn into an episode of Film Theory. Rest in peace, Matt
No,
Pat.
it's not. It's not. I'm definitely not holding a watch party for his final episode. I would never. I didn't cry for 3 hours when I found out the news. I would also never.
The impact on the FNAF community is untangible.
Yeah, it's. You're never gonna get a guy like him or Markiplier. But those two have been there since the start, man.
I
hold it in my heart. He should have retired on the 10th anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, that would genuinely be so fucking.
But I mean, I'm excited for his new stuff. I mean, Lo-Fi ARG. I trust Matt Pat. I'm excited to see what happens with that.
I am genuinely.
He should have retired on the 10th anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Because it would have been a really ironic celebration and sad thing at the same time. Like, oh my god, Matt Pat's retiring, but 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's. It doesn't feel that long.
It feels like I'm still mentally in the place where I was when I was like, wait, what's like the legal timeline
like
for pirating a game?
Came out last year.
What is like the legalities of pirating a game? I'm just gonna say it. If I have to, I'll censor it. I'm still where I was like 8 years ago with my little pirated copy of FNAF on my USB and my crappy laptop that could barely run it.
That's fair. Right, I didn't have the FNAF games when they first came out. My friend did. So I would watch them play it and play it on their phone. I didn't have it on mine. I just had to watch the playthroughs.
I mean, even just watching the playthroughs, the game is so much more than a game. It's so insane how extensive it is.
Yeah, it's like it's a game. It's also a book. It's there's so many parts. It's also a film now. A very, very good film. Fight me. Actually, scratch it. That's the most controversial FNAF opinion.
The film was good.
I know so many people which complained about it being goofy, and I'm like, have you read a book made by Scott Cawthon?
Fucking Matt Pat Empreg.
Have you played Five Nights at Freddy's? What do you mean goofy? Have you, Vanessa? I am a material girl. What about that gives horror?
It's literally the game has always had a certain era of campness to it, and the movie had that exact same vibe.
Yeah, it's the community as well. I mean, I know that the Fazverse fan initiative has completely collapsed due to various dramas, but the fact that we even had that from the start shows just how much of a wide range Five Nights at Freddy's has turned into. It's no longer this little indie game made by one guy in his basement. It's now it's international. Like, you could go to a different country and speak about this game, and people will understand. People will know. It's
so good.
Not many games have gone that far, I'd say. I mean, obviously you got like the Halo and all those, and like all of the Nintendo ones, but all of those were created by gigantic companies. This is the first recent one that I think has managed to get to a big level.
And it's sort of having a game made by an independent creator. And the thing is, you hear these stories all the time of people who make their first game and magically blow up. Scott Cawthon made a bunch of games that weren't as successful, and he worked for it.
They are really funny games to play.
I've seen a few, I've not played them. I've seen them mostly when I'm watching those FNAF iceberg videos at 4 a.m.
I really recommend to anyone listening, if you like Chipper and Sons, go play the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game based off of Chipper and Sons. It is amazing. It is like a sequel to Chipper and Sons, but also Five Nights at Freddy's, and it is perfect. Please go play it. I can't remember its name, but please find it and play it.
I will try and find it, and I will put it in the description.
Good. It's so good. It does horror well. I mean, I can only watch playthroughs. I'm afraid of the goddamn game.
My GAD now is so bad. I tried to play FNAF on stream, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
Fair.
The next question is, what was your first con experience?
Well, I have, technically speaking, MCM when I was 11. that was my first ever experience. The only memory I really have from that MCM was buying My Little Pony ears for my head, and then the headband broke and I never wore them. But apart from that, I have gone to loads of little ones. UKCFG Taunton I went to, and then my main, like, I'd say this is my first con experience in the sense of cosplay, full on dress up. I decided to go to MCM May in the middle of my A levels. It was the day after a psychology A level exam, and it still remains as one of my favourite experiences of Comic Con ever. I went as Sun. I got up at 4 a.m. in the morning. We travelled from Taunton to London and back in one day because we were under 18, so couldn't get a hotel overnight. We did Saturday. Amazing. I went to the FNAF meet there, and that's when I decided that this is what I was doing every year. It was just perfect. I don't care that I spent all my money. It was genuinely my best con experience. My first ever interaction with a cosplayer was Steed and Ed from Our Flag Means Death. They gave me a little bottle with a slip in it. I still have it up here, even though it was a couple years ago. I still have it. Their cosplay usernames are in here. I cannot get this out. I will try to, and I will tell you their names so you can follow them on Instagram. But they were the first cosplayers I ever had an interaction with, and they were the ones which inspired me to hand stuff out at Comic Con. So they are the entire reason that I now hand things out at Comic Con, and I had so much fun with them. I only interacted with them for 5 minutes, and it's a core memory.
That's actually how we first met. We were on the same. We were on the Elizabeth line.
We were on the Elizabeth line.
Yeah.
On the way down, and I was busy breaking all my cosplay before I even got into the con.
And I was next to you, and I think like we were chatting, and I was like, "Do you want me to hold something for you?" I think, yeah. Oh, that was so funny.
Because everything was getting caught on my pins. I can get the jacket out. I have it in my cupboard.
Yeah.
But everything was getting caught on my pins for my Springtrap cosplay. There we go. I got it all here.
Oh my god, I love that jacket though. It's genuinely so good.
For context, this took me only a week in the middle of exam season. So, if you ever think you can't do a cosplay, I promise you can. Because I handed you, what was it, a business card?
It was the Springtrap sticker that I had on the back of my phone until it literally I had that thing on the back of my phone until it literally fell apart.
Oh, when we meet next, I'll give you another one because I now have them up on my Etsy.
Oh my god, yes. I will literally put that by my streaming setup.
Yes.
The Etsy, for anyone interested, will be in the description of this video. Can confirm, as someone who absolutely loves it and follows it religiously, the merch is amazing.
I have more stuff coming out in March. I'm doing my 2 Comic Cons, then I'm putting everything up, which does include Five Nights at Freddy's acrylic pins. Do you want to see them?
Oh my god.
These are my children. I spent my entire December profit on you guys. For Etsy sellers, you know that's a lot of money. But we have Freddy.
Oh my god.
Bonnie, Chica, and Golden Freddy. And they all have star clasps on the back.
I love that Golden Freddy. He is beautiful.
You won't be able to get these online until after March if they don't sell out at Comic Con. Because I have 20 of each pin, but I'm only kind of putting 15 out. So I have like 5 spare if I need to. Or if someone like breaks theirs, I can give them a replacement. We joke about this at work. My Etsy is a special interest hobby job.
Yes. Sorry, my camera is dying.
This is my Mothman keychain.
Oh my god, the baby boy.
And then my wet floorbot keychain I'll get from my display. I'll show you this display after.
Yeah, I saw those.
But I have a display of every keychain I've ever bought hanging above, so I'll show you after.
Yes, I will DM you. I got some amazing Mothman art at MegaCon. I will DM you a picture of that.
I love Mothman.
It's made dress Mothman and Hooters Mothman.
Oh, I know them, Jet Drills.
Yes!
I love Jet Drills. Them and Eldrach I love. Very specifically, Eldrach and Cindercry. The reason why I started my Etsy. Those two specifically. So shout out to them. Eldrach, amazing. I'm one of their Patreon members. I'm not plugging them. Not sponsored. But
They totally won't be
Eldrach,
in the
if you
description.
like cryptid stuff, go to Eldrach. Cindercry has everything. Like My Little Pony, like meme badges. Both of them are perfect. I was a part of Eldrach's pin club, but I had to stop because my financial situation changed when I got to uni, and you can't afford pins, but you can afford a sticker club. So that's why I'm a part of Eldrach's one still. But go check them out. They're the reason I'm doing Etsy.
I will put them in the description. I've got some of their prints. They're genuinely good. They are, like, I love them.
Really good. I don't think I've got. Yeah, I've got them on my water bottle. See my.
Your very well decorated water bottle.
Everything's very, very well decorated. The trolley which has all of my Etsy stuff in.
Oh my god, no, not the like the gay trolley. The
Not
gay
hobbycraft
hobbycraft trolley.
I got it. My brother got it for me for Christmas because I was running out of storage for all my Etsy stuff. It's still everywhere because Comic Con display stuff takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But my actual stock is now all on this trolley. But I'm almost running out of space because when I include my new bookmarks, sticker packs, and prints, I'm gonna run out of space.
You can literally, it's what I've done. I'll send you a picture after. You can stack 2 of those trolleys if you want. Because I have 2 of those full of all my camera gear. You can see all the badly
Nice.
organized wires. You can stack 2 of those trolleys.
I may do that because I honestly don't have. Look, I'll show you from my phone. Let me turn this around. No space. The entire thing. I've ordered more sticker storage because this doesn't work anymore. But yeah.
Holy
You
shit.
see my little cash box.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a stonk.
See all my badges.
You got all them stonks?
I got all the stonks. It's like all my prints. I do have everything on display there. There. You can have a look at my little prints.
That creeper is a baby.
Isn't for sale online. It's only in person.
In-person exclusive merch.
It's less in-person exclusive, more in-person don't want Nintendo to get me for a copyright strike.
Valid. No, they are such cunts for copyright.
Yeah, my friend was gonna do Pokemon stickers, and I was like, "Look, I'm really sorry, but if you want to base your Etsy business off of Pokemon stuff, they're what Nintendo and Disney, the 2 things I religiously avoid making things for.
Disney are so fucking bad.
It's just not worth it. I know this is getting off track from.
No, it's all good. I can edit it as needed. It's
Whoa.
fine.
Yeah. I promise you. Think of other things.
Why is cosplay so important to you?
It was my main coping mechanism during lockdown because obviously we couldn't interact socially a lot of the time. It was really hard to get to know people, so I started cosplaying and then found a community through that way. They don't do cosplay as much anymore. Their name is Star. I'll try and send you the link to their TikTok for you. But they used to have a Discord community. Stuff went down, drama, like most places during lockdown.
Welcome to cosplay.
Yay! Welcome to cosplay. Lot of drama, but I made 2 really close friends. We don't speak as much now. Their names are Liam and Cheesy. They may have changed, but Cheesy's the nickname. But I absolutely loved them friend. We used to call all the time, and they were my main coping mechanism. So we did a lot of cross cosplays together, and it just kind of made me really connect. Also, it boosted my confidence a lot because I used to be really self-conscious, especially during lockdown when I couldn't see anyone. For some reason, it got worse when I couldn't see anyone. You'd think it'd be the other way around. But cosplay really boosted my confidence. It made me feel secure in myself, especially my William Afton one. Something about that guy. I realise part of it now is probably gender euphoria, because dressing up as a guy when you're non-binary and born female just makes you feel a lot more secure in yourself. and you get gender euphoria from it. But
It's so validating, genuinely.
but originally it definitely stemmed from I wanted to reach out and form a community, never left, and here I am. What, 4 years later, still going.
It's so weird. Lockdown was so fucking long ago, but it still feels like yesterday.
Yeah, lockdown does not feel like it was that long ago. Like, it feels just yesterday I was cutting a cardboard tie out for my lefty cosplay. Why I didn't just go to a charity shop and or go on the internet and buy a red bow tie, I'll never know. Because it wasn't like I wasn't working. I was working. I just decided to cut a bow tie out of cardboard for the lols, I guess.
I mean, I feel like every person who does cosplay has that moment in cosplay where they've done the jankiest goddamn thing to make it work.
Oh god, yeah. It's like my original lefty headband was done the way most were done, and now I've got like a proper hat and everything, man.
Oh wait, I love that so much.
My friends call it my Mickey Mouse hat because without the rest of the cosplay, it does look like a Mickey Mouse hat. But I changed across to this because I finally could. But before then, it was a very janky, like, toilet roll hat situation. Like, you know when you have a toilet roll, then you put a piece of cardboard at the top, bigger piece of cardboard at the bottom to make the rim, then 2 pieces for the ears. That was, and it was on a Rudolph headband that I cut up and painted black. That was the original lefty cosplay.
That just makes me think of my current Bonnie ears I have.
That's fair. There's so many like that. That's why I've changed across to, slowly changing across to foam and masks. I get my glitch trap mask if I can. Where is it? I'll not be getting it. It's hidden. I haven't sorted my cosplay stuff out since MCM October, so instead I've got my siren head.
Oh my
stuff.
god, I love that, the
It took
detail.
a while to make the guns, but this originally was on like one headband. You can see it there. Because I was really clever and brought a Poundland headband for a really thick piece of cardboard that was about to be covered in glue. So I had to find another headband to put it on.
Yeah. The Poundland headbands are, I feel like they're an iconic piece in every cosplayer's history, though.
Everybody has to have the 5-pack multicolored headbands at some point in their life. And then obviously I ran down to Wilco's and brought a thicker one.
Rest in peace, Wilco's.
I can boast. I'm in Plymouth, so we still have one because the range brought out 5 stores, remember? And reopened them. So I've now got a Wilco's, but it's not a Wilco's, it's a Wilco's brand filled with range stuff. So now I've got a range like 5 minutes walking distance away from me called Wilco's.
My nearest range is like a 45-minute fucking hike.
It originally was. My nearest range was too far away for me to get to in Plymouth because I don't drive, so would need to take the bus. And why would I take the bus to a range? But now it's 5 minutes away from me.
Valid.
I'm almost doxing myself now, but who cares?
The impulse purchases, I can imagine.
I impulse brought a bunch of polymer clay and I've made little snakes for everyone for Christmas.
Ah, the baby. Boop the snoot.
Snoot. But yeah, impulse purchases are high. I've got mini containers, like mini bead containers, because I do bracelets, and I'm gonna be making like a carry around bracelet making kit for me. I'm like, I don't know why I did that. Like, I have no need to do that, but I've done it now.
What are you gonna do? Stop me? Like,
yeah. I can be financially irresponsible. Watch me.
It's part of gay culture. Let me do it.
It really is.
What does the process of building a cosplay look like for you?
So I start off with a sketch. I post these very frequently on my Instagram. You saw it with my Mothman cosplay. There was like 7 different sketches that I posted at various points. But I sketch it all out to get an idea as to what I want it to look like. And then from that, I'll decide what clothing I need. And this may involve changing the sketch because I realised that the item of clothing I'm looking for doesn't actually exist as an item of clothing. And until Christmas, I didn't have a sewing machine to make anything. So that was out of the option. I'm not hand sewing with arthritis. There's limits. That was a limit. But yeah, so I sketch it all out. I then find the clothes, typically on charity shops or through Vinted. I rarely ever buy anything first hand, mainly because my cosplays always required destruction of item. So I don't want to buy something first hand for full price to damage it. So like my Springtrap coat was my coat from home, my green coat from home that I just completely cut up and ripped and painted. And the shirt I got, I found from a charity shop and ripped that up, and cut it. So sketch, buy the clothing, buy any accessories. My accessory buying will start from the moment I start sketching, because as the cosplay changes, accessories will change. So I have a reel of ivy and a bunch of fake plants that I was gonna put on my Mothman cosplay, but I didn't end up using because I didn't go that direction with the cosplay. But I have it there because I start accessory buying. It's a little bit of a chaotic process. I'm sketching, but at the same time I'm buying accessories. I then buy the clothes or find the clothes if I know I've got them, like the Springtrap coat. I then will destroy and paint. Once I've made the base clothing and made it to the way I want, I then make all the props. It's like Springtrap's mask, my axe, stuff like that. I all make kind of in one night. So for MCM, when I'm doing free cosplayers, I have a paint night, which is I get out either make night and a paint night. One day I will make everything. I will down a Red Bull or a Monster, and I get it done in one night. Like everything is done that night. And then a couple of days later, when I'm fine with everything, I stress test it all because, yeah, my sun mask broke on me because I didn't reinforce any of the sun rays. So now I make sure to test that it can withstand Comic Con, and then I will paint it all once I'm secure that it will last. And that's paint night. I get everything done that night, including shoes, because sometimes I paint my own shoes for cosplay, so they all get done that night as well. And then that's kind of it. I do one final test cosplay if I can. So if there's a local con, it's like DevCon, shout out to get to DevCon. Go there if you're in the Plymouth or Devon area. It's DevCon because it's Devon Comic Con. It's locally run, and I always test cosplay there. Apart from now, because now I'm selling and I don't want to test cosplay when I'm selling. But before then, I'd always test cosplay. So my Kevin from Welcome to Night Vale was tested there, figured out the makeup wouldn't work, and then changed it in time for MCM. So if you test cosplay before you go to MCM, you can find out what the issues are. Because I didn't do that with Sun, and I learned from my mistakes. So it goes sketching and buying, making the clothes, making the props, painting the props, testing before I go to the con, because I don't want to find out a mistake in the middle of con and do nothing. I can do nothing about it when I'm at MCM. And then obviously I go to MCM. For context, the only big con I do is MCM, so it's always developing a cosplay for MCM. With me selling at events, I'm going to be reusing my old cosplays, so they finally see the light of day. So like William Afton and all that, they're just going to be broken out. It's easier to use an already made cosplay than make a cosplay for Comic Con, because I realised, as an Etsy seller, as a seller at Comic Con, you also have to con crunch. I didn't really think you would until I experienced con crunching the day before my first event.
I can only imagine now. All I can imagine is you dressed as William Afton, some younger kid coming up to your store and buying a FNAF sticker from fucking William Afton.
Yeah. It helps. At my first ever event, I had like 7 or 8 people walk past my store, say, "Ugh, anime," and walk away. I only sell mushrooms, cryptids, and Five Nights at Freddy's stuff at that event. And like my prints, which was Pride Worm, Rainbow Worm, and Cult of the Lamb, and Minecraft. My prints are different to the stickers I sell, but none of it was anime. I don't watch anime, so I don't
Even if
sell
it was
stuff.
to go, ooh, anime, what the fuck?
I was like, think I am. Yes, Freddy Fazbear from the hit anime show Five Nights at Freddy's.
To be fair, there was the anime with Chica. There was the
Yeah.
weird
I'm not sure
night.
my art style is anime-ish. It's like, would this be an anime character?
It could be. It could pass for it, but I don't think so.
But yeah, that's. If anything, it looks more like a furry with a bunch of fursonas just out for sale.
Oh my god. What is a cosplay pet peeve or a con pet peeve of yours?
I do have a little controversial one.
Ooh.
I am sorry. I don't like brought cosplays going into cosplay competitions if it's not handmade. I understand why people do it. It definitely boosts confidence. But I did see in championships, someone brought a Genshin Impact cosplay. They didn't make any of it. None of it was handmade. It was like one-piece printed fabric. And they entered the competition and won. There was someone there who had handmade like most of their cosplay, and I was like, cosplay competitions are typically judged by how much you make and the different skills that go into a cosplay as well as how it looks. So I understand why they picked the person who brought the cosplay because they were young, but it kind of felt like they should have a separate like event for the younger cosplayers as a result.
I know personally at October, they had like the cosplay showcase separate from the cosplay masquerade.
Yeah.
Which is normally cosplay competitions are based on your technical skills.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was confused as to why they won, because there was someone there. Because I was speaking with the cosplayer that had made it post, and I did bump into the Genshin Impact one. And they're like, yeah, I can't believe I won with my cosplay. And I was like, that's really cool. They was like, yeah, my dad got it for me off of Amazon. And I was like,
Huh.
you know, I was like, oh.
Nice, bro.
Nice. I'm glad. I'm happy for you, but like, who was judging that event?
I'm not the type of person to be like argue with the judges about it, but no, in that case, I feel like things that are judging people based off of the cosplay are basing it off of your technical skills. So your ability to do the makeup, your ability to sew.
Yeah, it's like I entered this DevCon just gone. I think the October one. Yeah, no, not October, May. Sorry, in October I was selling. In May, when I first entered a competition, my friends were like, "Oh, your cosplay was so good. Why didn't you win?" And I was like, "Well, everything I was wearing I brought from a charity shop. The only thing made on that costume, because it was my lefty one, was the cardboard star and the cardboard ears hot glued to the hat. That doesn't really show skill. I wasn't gonna win. I just wanted to give it a go and know what it was like." Because I think people who don't cosplay, like my friends don't really, they don't understand the judging process, if that makes sense. They go off of looks. It's like they were like, "Oh, your lefty cosplay looks really cool," and I'm like, it shouldn't have won, and I'm glad it didn't win, because
it's not 100% based off of aesthetics. More often, it's based off of the technical skills.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's why I love people buying their own cosplays. I find it amazing when like a parent buys a cosplay for a kid, but I just think they should be separate from competitions in like prize-based competitions. If it's just like a walkway, you showing off your cosplay, completely fine. But it's when it gets to technical competitions or when you're competing against people that have very clearly built their own cosplay and you win, and then you say, "Yeah, my dad brought this off of me for Amazon," and I'm like, okay.
100%. Like you can 110% cosplay with a store bought cosplay. That's completely fine.
I'm fine with that. I love that, because some people cosplay isn't accessible in most forms. If you're not confident in making your own cosplay, or you want to be as canon accurate as you can be, especially Genshin Impact. I know a lot of people buy I don't know anything about Genshin apart from the cosplays, and I know that people either spend literal months making their cosplay because of how detailed the outfits are, or they buy them because they're so detailed and you want to be accurate that you can't make it yourself, or you don't feel adequate enough to have the skills to make it. So I completely understand buying them, and it's a really accessible way to get into cosplay if you can afford that little bit extra and you don't have the time to make your own, or you're really stressed. There's a bazillion reasons why people would buy them, but I just
Yeah,
don't want to
100%.
have competitions.
No hate to the person that won at all, because it's not on them, it's on people judging.
Yeah, it's like, and the reason why they probably entered was to boost their confidence. Like the reason I entered was to boost my confidence. It makes you feel there's there's something in participating in a cosplay competition that makes you happy.
100%.
It's,
Like,
yeah,
walking across a stage or something in cosplay is like, it's such an ego boost. I remember the first
yeah.
time I did it, which was in October, it was insane.
It's like I'm planning on doing it this October with Bilbo Baggins because I'm planning on hand sewing or machine sewing that entire cosplay as well as sourcing stuff. So I feel confident in going up there because I know almost all of it was handmade. But that's also my expectation. I feel like I can't enter the cosplay competition, that like a big one, if I don't hand make most of it. It's like I could have entered with Springtrap, but what does that really show? That I can dye clothing, paint, and put pins onto things. It doesn't show much skill
No, but those
beyond
are
that.
still technical skills. Hey, real quick editor's note. I just wanted to quickly make sure that I reinforce this point. So what we were essentially discussing here is that during a cosplay showcase, things where it's just to showcase your cosplays, that's okay. But in a cosplay competition where one of the points is specifically to cosplay your skills within cosplay, it's just how that they felt about people entering with bought cosplays. That's all we were discussing here. I just want to completely reiterate the point that all cosplay is valid. I know personally most of my cosplays are predominantly bought at the moment. So yeah, I just thought I'd reinforce that here. No matter what your cosplay is, it is completely valid. Nothing but love. Let's get back to the interview.
They are, but to me, I prize sewing high, if that makes sense. It's like anyone can hot glue. In my opinion, I trust anyone can hot glue as long as they're like over the age of 6. I don't trust toddlers with hot glue guns.
It sounds like a great TV show, but no.
Yeah. Children, you have 1 hour to hot glue your cosplay. Go, literal 5-year-olds.
The thing is, within cosplay, sewing is a great skill, but there are a lot of people who can't do it. I have very like
Yeah,
strong memories of when I first started putting pieces together with like a stapler.
yeah. I have arthritis. So when I sewed my Mothman cosplay, I couldn't use my hands for a week after. So, like, I understand that. Ooh, I understand that. That's why I uh think there should be separate categories in a kind of sense, because you can't judge someone who knows how to foam work and someone who knows how to sew in the same competition because they're so inherently different. Yeah, they have similar outcomes. Like you could both be cosplaying, um, uh, let's say Arthur from the TV show Merlin, because Merlin wears armor at points. Someone who's a really good foam worker will use moldable foam, will use a Dremel, will find specific glues that work for that foam to make it fit in a way that looks perfect. Then they have to prime the foam. Then they have to find the correct paint. Then they have to shade the paint. There's so many skills which go into making that armor that it can't be judged to the like there. It's hard to explain, but they're so hard to do skills, but so different. If
It's
that
like,
makes sense.
for someone who doesn't know cosplay, the way I'd summarize it is, it's like trying to compare an apple to an orange.
Yeah, like they're both cosplay. That's it. It's like they're both round, but that's it.
They're
They
both
end there.
they're both fruits. That's the only thing they really have in common.
They're round and they grow on trees, and that is it. Those are the similarities. Foam working, as someone who's making a fursuit, foam working and sewing, which you both need for a fursuit, they're so different skills. Like putting the correct amount of hot glue on, but then also knowing what hot glue to use in the sense of some hot glues won't hold to the foam. Other hot glues will.
I've had that issue a few times.
killing people.
Um,
And then comparing that to sewing, it's like someone who sewed their art for cosplay, sourced that fabric, found the correct texture fabric, found it's they're so different but require the same amount of energy in completely opposite ways. They can't be judged fairly in a competition together.
I feel like the categories in it should be like do the different kinds of craftsmanship, the different. It shouldn't just be one blanket
Yeah,
category.
it's like Saf, who's a part of the FNAF and cosplayer Discord. Oh, I'll give the links to you for that as
Yeah.
well. Please join my cosplay Discord. I'm trying to promote it. But the like Saf, amazing foam worker, like fucking amazing. Made a ruined Monty cosplay, like genuinely amazing. Their cosplays are awesome, but because sewing is considered the more traditional, better, and harder technique, they lost. I think they lost the cosplay competition to someone that sewed. They won a lot of cosplay competitions. I'm not denying that. I don't. You know the point I'm trying to make here. It's like you can't compare someone sewing to someone like Saf who does complete foam work because they find it easier. You can't.
It's like trying to compare someone who bakes something to someone who in a cooking competition.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
It adds to the elitism of cosplay because I know because it's like, oh, I sew, so therefore I do better. I'm picking the sewing route because I don't trust myself with a Dremel. I think they should be separate categories because I myself would not be able to do foam work. As someone who was brought up sewing, I know that I cannot do. I don't trust myself with foam work to the degree to do more than just a fursuit.
I've done minimal foam work. It is so fucking much. Like
contact cement, I'm never gonna use it, but it looks like hell to use.
Oh my god, it's.
So that's why they should be separate, and then it does contribute to the elitism because obviously the person who hand sewed their dress is going to win over the person who who made their own armor out of foam. But realistically, make your own armor out of foam and sewing a dress are two completely different skills, but at similar skill level because there's only so far into basics. You can't use hot glue when you're using specific types of foam. Then you have to use contact cement. Then you have to wear a mask because the fumes for toxic cement are toxic. It's just.
I have a thing of contact cement. It's like off-brand cheap contact cement. Literally,
Yeah.
right here.
I love that. But yeah, it's just. And then obviously, sewing cosplayers can go like, oh, I'm better because I sew, and I'm like, sewing's a really great skill, really hard skill, but it doesn't mean it's less than foam.
I think the point is they're equally valid within cosplay, and there is a real issue with elitism towards sewing.
There is, which is really ironic because for a while cosplay was thought to be just a men's thing, and sewing was a woman's thing, so therefore wouldn't be entered into the cosplay sphere. So it's the jump and the change, the cultural shift in that sense. It's entertaining because I did only recently join the cosplay community. Being 4 years into it is a new cosplayer, realistically. So it's interesting coming in. I've dealt with completely different types of drama. I'm like the adopt verse, open verse closed species in adopts. It's almost like seeing that again in wherever I go. There's always one side versus the other.
I feel like at the moment there's this because I'm in like the same cosplay generation as you. There's a big issue now with like you have the older cosplayers and then you have the newer gen of cosplayers, which is us.
Yes, and then you have, and then you also have the people who joined like me through TikTok.
Yes, literally same.
Yeah, because the people who join through TikTok almost treat cosplay differently. The older generational cosplayers tend to be more anti-closet cosplay, but everyone that joined in lockdown are closet cosplayers. Like I was a closet cosplayer for a while. It's just the change in views. I mean, cosplay and its community is consistently changing, and I think the FNAF verse is a very specific side as well, because our cosplayers have always been budget and closet cosplaying, compared to like Star Trek or Halo or Star Wars.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I was gonna say like the FNAF fandom is definitely a community where closet cosplay is
Yeah,
inspired, whereas within somewhere like nothing against Star Wars cosplayers, but this is what I've been told by people who are part of that community. It is a lot more high standards.
I don't know if you saw that TikTok, but did you see the person who dressed up as Loki but wasn't called up for the Loki shoot during the Marvel meet because they didn't look like the stereotypical Loki. They were Loki from 4-1,
No, I didn't see that.
and they'd spent like a year making their cosplay.
Oh my god, I missed that, but that's fucked.
And they were like, if you're doing a meet-up, please remember to know everyone. Like, you can't host a meet without knowing everyone there.
To be fair, there's been a few meets where I have had to exclude people, but that's because of different issues.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being part of the My Hero community, haha.
For context, I host the FNAF meet in October for MCM. I have a specific way of doing it to try and include everyone. There is a group photo at the start and at the end. This is because people will appear and disappear like the wind. And then we have every character, so like all the Foxies, all of the Freddys, all of like the others. Like if there's a wet floorbot, they go in there. All the William Aftons, because there's about 6 of them at any given point. It's like we go character, we go game, and then we go one at the start, one at the end. And if anyone wants to do any fun cosplay photos, say like William Afton getting beat up by all of the Michael Aftons or something like that, we do that, and then we do circle time. This circle time is essentially to get to know the community better, because I know that most cosplay meets will do the photos then disappear, but some people go to the community meets because they want to meet other people that like the game. They don't meet for the cosplay, they meet for the community. So I know that there was a Luz and Amity cosplayer there, duo there, that went to the FNAF meet like half an hour after the photos started, so they could hang out with us for the community aspect, which is why I do circle time, because a meet is more than just the photos. It's getting to know the people in your community that you wouldn't typically see. It's especially with FNAF. If I'm not at MCM at a FNAF meet, I don't see or speak with FNAF fans in the same way any other time of year.
So the next question is, what do you think about Photoshop within cosplay?
I don't really mind. It depends on. I'm not a particular photographer. If I didn't kind of make that obvious, my FNAF meets, we just take the photos then post the photos. But I feel like it's alright. It depends what it is, to be fair. If it's something extreme that I haven't actually seen, it's like people photoshopping the colour of their skin. Why? But realistically, most Photoshop is like little errors, or like adding a flame because you can't actually hold a flame in real life. Stuff
What do
like
you
that.
mean? I do it all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's fine. It's up to the individual person, I'd say, in that aspect. Because the only time I ever see photoshopping is in regards to taking someone out of the place they're in and then putting them in like the world they're a part of, like putting a Owl House cosplayer next to Hootie, or inside the Owl House, or a Merlin cosplayer inside the castle. It's most cosplayers, or like Five Nights at Freddy's into the office. Most cosplayers I see, the only Photoshop is moving them to a location that would make sense for a cosplayer, or adding like little fun bits around it, like adding sparkles or adding magical bits. Like I've seen an Enderman cosplayer where they've added the particles post effect for the photos. So yeah, that's my opinion on Photoshop. Yeah, I've only ever seen it in terms of adding fun little effects, but Yeah.
What do you think about fast fashion, i.e., things like Shein within cosplay?
Oh, that's an interesting topic there. It's not black and white. I'm gonna get killed for saying that, but in the sense that I in some countries, I know that not in the UK as much, but I've got a friend from Thailand. This is less related to cosplay, but more specifically towards plus size, about how in Thailand the sizing. If you want to go to somewhere that is if you want somewhere which has like any sized clothing like above a 12, you have to go to a shop called Fat. Like they literally have it in the name. It's like the Fat shop. So they had to get their clothing from Shein because otherwise their sizes wouldn't fit them, even at the Fat shop. Which sounds horrible. And that I don't know about cosplay is internationally. That I just wanted to preface by saying that sometimes it's more accessible to go to Shein if you are plus size than if you are not. Like my mum's friend can't find sizes in her clothes anywhere other than Shein, therefore she is forced to shop there. It's not her choice, she has nowhere else to go, compared to smaller sizes which have everywhere, essentially.
Yeah.
But in regards to cosplay, I always try and say source it the best way you can. If you're like me, I'm a medium to large on everything. Um, I can find most of my stuff in charity shops in the men's section. Women's section I hate because their sizings don't fit me. I'm either a size 14, 18, or like 16, and there's which one of them am I?
No consistency.
No consistency. So I always look in the men's section. But if your size allows you to shop through charity shops or in person, I always say do that before going fast fashion, because in the end, fast fashion is contributing mostly to the climate change issue, along with like oil companies. But what can we do about that? So that's the general opinion. If you have nowhere to go for your size, don't force yourself into something that doesn't fit. I'd rather you be comfortable in your own body than worry about climate change, because the people that actually affect are like the £100 Shein hauls, not you buying 2 t-shirts off of Shein because you can't find any which fit you because nowhere does your size.
Yeah, 100%. The next question is, they say beauty is pain. What is your most uncomfortable cosplay?
Um, what is my most? I don't really have one because all of mine are closets. So all of mine are. I mean, I would say Springtrap in the sense that there's so many pins on the jacket that my arm, like a pin on my arm, can get caught on a pin on my underside of my coat, and my hand was stuck there like that for 5 minutes while my friend was trying to unpin me. But they're not massive. Many of them are massively uncomfortable because I make them to last. I'd say ears wise, Bill Cipher. I hate fake ears, but I wanted fun little pointy ears with dangly earrings for Bill Cipher because he's just a little funky guy. He's a gremlin.
So the next question is, what keeps you motivated to cosplay?
Comic cons. It's it's mostly Comic Cons. I always think of the reactions I'll get at a Comic Con, or seeing someone doing the same cosplay as me, or seeing someone cosplaying from the same fandom as me. It always makes you more excited. It's like, even though I knew your fandom, I knew when I bumped into you, you were cosplaying My Hero. I was like, oh my god, it's a My Hero cosplayer. It's like it the community that comes with cosplaying, especially at Comic Con. It's the reason I post less on TikTok now, is because since coming out of lockdown, cosplaying at a Comic Con is so much more fun than cosplaying in my room lip syncing to a video. So therefore, my motivation is cosplaying for a Comic Con. So that's why all of them are based off of that. It's like I could realistically do narrator from the Stanley Parable, but I don't have any Comic Cons coming up in which I'd want to do him. So therefore, he's just gonna rot on the back burner.
um, what is your advice for people getting into cosplay?
There is no wrong way. That is my advice. There is no wrong way to cosplay.
Yes.
There is just full stop. If someone complains that you're closet cosplaying, kill them. If someone complains that you're buying it online, kill them. If someone complains that you're not sewing, you're making it out of foam, or vice versa, kill them. There is no wrong way to cosplay, and I know this can be an issue, especially if you go to a meet, because I've heard of meets where they exclude you if it's not brought, or cosplay groups which exclude you if it's not specifically brought or made by a 3D printer or something. Ignore that. It's not true advice. There is no wrong way to cosplay. They're fictional characters. You can't go wrong. You literally cannot go wrong. So if anyone goes to you and says you're not cosplaying correctly because you're too big, or you're using a t-shirt from your home, or you're not sewing all of it individually, tell me. Just tell me. I'll find their location. I won't. Government. I'm not doing that.
This is a joke.
This is a joke. You can't hold me legally to anything I'm saying because none of it is true or real.
This is satire.
This is all a fictional, hypothetical stance. But yeah, there is no wrong way to cosplay. And some people, I know that TikTok cosplayers kind of see this less. Very specifically, my niche, FNAF TikTok cosplayers tend to get less kind of you're cosplaying wrong than most, but I have seen it everywhere else. Like, I wouldn't think the My Little Pony cosplay community would be rampant with you can't cosplay this because XYZ, but I have seen it a surprisingly large amount. Obviously, I see it a lot in Star Wars and that because that's more obvious to see it there, but no wrong. There is no wrong way to cosplay. Full stop.
The only wrong way to do it is if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. Don't force yourself to do something you don't enjoy. Unless you're like, you did enjoy it, but now you're not enjoying it because you've been in a fursuit for 5 hours, now you're hot and sweaty and about to pass out. That's... You'll enjoy it later, trust me. I do. I always enjoy it later.
The next...
It's like, wow, I'm overstimulated at a Comic-Con. But, oh my god, look, it's another Siren Head cosplayer. And now I'm like, okay. And then you look back on it, I was like, oh, I was really excited. I was just also hungry, tired, dehydrated, and starving because I hadn't eaten for 4 hours.
Potentially on the brink of death.
Yeah, because why wouldn't you do that on the final day of MCM?
Oh my
It's
god.
like, every year I buy so many snacks, and it's always the water I run out.
I never bring food with me to con. This is like the worst
You
thing
don't?
I do. No, because I go to the Fox afterwards. So anything I don't eat, I'm fully aware is going to get thrown away in front of me.
Yeah. I have never been... I went to the Fox once for 1 hour last October, but I don't know any cosplayers to go to the Fox with, so I never have, even though I bought a ticket for it and went for like 1 hour that one time. Shout out to that Moon cosplayer that I hung out with the entire time. You were fucking awesome. I did also laugh a little on the inside when you asked if I liked cider. I'm from Somerset. We are known for sheep's farming and cider. I can stereotype.
The last question is, what is your ideal things to pack for a convention?
You must pack your makeup remover. You must not forget your toothbrush. You must not forget your shampoo.
Deodorant.
Remember pajamas. I know you may say, oh, my cosplay takes up loads of space. I don't necessarily need my pajamas. Yes, you do! Your pajamas. I didn't. This is the face of regret. I was like, my Lefty and my Siren Head cosplay take up all the space. There's no point bringing my pajamas. What was I thinking?
No comfort.
I had to go out and buy some pajamas. Bring them. If you're going up and back for a day, water, snacks. And I mean this because you will get dehydrated at Comic-Con. You get dehydrated anyway. I mean, if you do it my way, that is, which is you get there an hour before XL opens and then you stay until close. So essentially I'm staying inside a convention centre all day for 3 days in a row. Woo! That's what I do. And I know that loads of other people do that too.
Yeah.
Going out onto the green does not count. that's still inside the convention centre. Just because it's fresh air doesn't mean that you have exited the con area and given yourself a rest.
There's nothing fresh about the green. As someone who is a chronic green
I-
lurker, can confirm there is nothing
I-
fresh about
I'm-
that fucking
I'm
area.
a chronic artist alley lurker. The amount I was like, I did some networking this October just gone. I was like, hi, I'm planning on selling at MCM soon. And then I got chatting with all the artists. I did that in Mothman cosplay on the final day because I was not going to do it on Friday or Saturday to the poor artists that had just arrived. But I mean, I probably shouldn't have done that either. They were probably really tired. But yeah, that's how I roll. You must always pack food. Your cosplay, while really cool, does not give you sustenance when you're passing out from dehydration. I've heard of people passing out due to dehydration. Don't be that person.
Don't do what I do. Be better than my mistakes.
Yes, I do judge you for not bringing any food.
That's okay.
But I also bring extra food with me. So on Saturday for the FNAF meets, I bring extra snacks because I know people will not eat. I chucked a granola bar at someone this year.
To be fair, actually, at MegaCon I had a protein bar with me.
Congratulations on having a singular protein bar
Thank
for
you.
multiple hours on a day.
And then going out binge drinking.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier to get drunk when there's nothing in your stomach.
I'm being cost effective.
Yeah, cool at that.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to wrap the interview up?
Not really. Just cosplay and have fun. Don't think about things too hard. I promise you, it isn't that deep. This applies anywhere in cosplay. If you are feeling that you can't do your cosplay because it doesn't look exact to canon, or as I've experienced with my Mothman cosplay, I hate Mothman cosplay because it doesn't look how I specifically sketched it out to look in my mind. I promise you it's fine. You may have a meltdown over it. I had a meltdown over my Mothman cosplay. I hate how it looks because it doesn't look how it's supposed to look.
That's so relatable.
Every cosplayer I know has that one cosplay that it isn't envisioned exact. It doesn't. I promise you, people will love it. I promise you, even though you feel like it's rubbish, other people will love it and find it amazing. I thought my Mothman cosplay looked like shit, if I'm being entirely honest. I did not like it. I still wore it to Comic-Con though, through social pressure, and it turned out being my favourite cosplay to wear, because most people came up to me and knew Mothman. For context, I did also get called as Glamrock Freddy while wearing a Lefty cosplay and having a Glamrock Freddy cosplay right next to me.
Do you have anything you'd like to shout out finally?
Shout out to Saf, who's a really fucking cool cosplayer. Shout out to my friend Ella, who's a very cool cosplayer that I met at last MCM. Shout out to Zenix. They're also really cool. They were in the cosplay masquerade at MegaCon. They were dressed up as Max from Nerdy Prudes Must Die. I think you may have seen them.
I did not see the masquerade. I just know my friend who won.
Nice. That's cool. I'll send you them. They don't know I'm doing this. Any of this. Ella's gonna kill me. But yeah. I would say shout out to the person that inspired me to start cosplaying in the beginning, but they deleted all of their Instagram and TikTok accounts, so I can't find them. They were a William Afton cosplayer. They were really fucking cool, and their name was like Cat something. But they were awesome. They were the entire reason I started cosplaying. One of their TikToks came up on my For You page, and I was like, I want to do that.
Alright. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Shout out to you.
Yay.
You're the one. You're interviewing me here. Shout out to you.
Oh my god. Alright, we are all good. Okay, so a massive thank you to Artemis for doing that interview with me. I really appreciate it, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cosplay Chameleons. If you did, please watch another one. There's about 4 in this series alone, and I am planning to expand. If you have watched them all, let me know what else you want to see. I am definitely planning doing some interviews with specifically plus-sized cosplayers and differently bodied cosplayers, queer cosplayers, anything to do within con and con community. I want to maybe interview some small business owners within that sell within cons, and just sort of, I just want to make, like, I like making this kind of content, so let me know what you want to see. It means a lot to me watching. Have a lovely day. I am One Lone Nerd, and this has been Cosplay Chameleons. Bye.